All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Truth be told, I've hit stop record and re-record like 4 or 5 times. I am way too excited making this video right now, and one of my big goals is to be as neutral, as unbiased, as impartial. Let the colorful lines and the technicals do the talking, right? I felt like that last video. I made my last video, I think on this candle right here. I think on this, dude. I was so excited. I felt like I rambled. And my goal here is to control myself, number one. Number two, be realistic about my expectations, both short term and long term. All right. And really, one big goal, because I'm going to cover two, I'm going to cover DXYZ and DJT. I'm going to give you my sincere opinion of why this one ran and DJT didn't. It was a Discord conversation, and I really like the way it went. It starts right here and the convo goes, but DJT wasn't pumping, and I mean you can see it, right? DJT doesn't, even though this is the Trump media stock and Trump obviously won the presidency, and hey, shouldn't his stock be the one that's going? You know, to me, I said it on the last video, I've been throwing it all over the internet. The word top, it's this right here. Elon was the top donor for the man that won. With that will come big favors, okay? And in my head, the best and easiest favor he can give, him being Donald Trump to Elon, is SpaceX contracts from the government. All right. He's already bid on them before, excuse me. He's already won some before, right? It just kind of makes sense that he might make more. Hey, worst case, that's a juicy rumor, right? So I think DXYZ just had a little bit more going on because, again, Elon's gonna get some favors, right? That's at least the rumor, okay? Trump media, I don't really know if it's gonna do more. I'm a social media thing, right? I'm supposed to be everywhere with chart readers and do things. I'm actually not on Truth Social. You know what I mean? And I think a little bit of that just kind of goes with the presidency. I don't know if more people are gonna jump on Truth Social, DJT. I sincerely believe Elon's going to win at least one extra contract in the next 4-year presidency than he probably would have if Kamala won. You know what I mean? And again, she might have been fair and unbiased, and hey, if he came with the best bid and this and that, he would have still won. I'm not trying to bash her or anything like that, right? But again, the top donor, the guy that made all the speeches, you get the point, right? So that's at least, I hope, an interesting one too. And yeah, I'm gonna give you so many of my DXYZ thoughts. Just literally when we go DXYZ in the search, I mean, it was 67 over the last couple days. My last one was, I mean, second to last one, right? If 33.50 breaks, it'll go to 37 or 41. It went higher than 41. I think it kissed 43, something like that. How high did you get? 42 and change. Look at that, 42.70, right? So there are advantages and disadvantages when you look at a stock that's pretty new. And that is what this is, all right? So a lot longer of an opening thoughts. I swear, all the other recordings, the opening thoughts were just about this long, but I think this was the cleanest after 5 attempts, all right? I hope I don't stop in the middle. But before we go any further, and I am so excited to do this one, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we're going to use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video across the internet. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, give me your time. Oh, I'm so grateful for it. All right, so let's talk about this ETF really quickly before we talk about the charts. All right, and look, I know a lot of people have shown this screenshot. I showed it on my last video. I showed it a little bit later. I'm glad I'm doing it sooner now, right? I think the biggest thing to me that jumps out is how unbalanced this ETF is. All right. So what does that mean? Look, generally, when you see the letters ETF, what that's supposed to mean is it's some sort of fund that is encompassing a whole sector. And the way that they make the fund generally safer, and again, there's no such thing as safe in this crazy, crazy stock market, right? But the way you make an ETF safe is you balance your portfolio. You have something that's really what is a normal ETF is this, all right? It's this view. Number one, two, three, four, and five are relatively close. And then from there, you have a bunch of small ones, and then you're holding a bunch of cash just getting ready to buy. All right. That's not what we see with this ETF. What we see is nearly 40%, well over a third in a single holding. Yo, that is a ballsy ETF, all right? And I say that for my women out there too, you know what I mean, all right? Like most of the time, I'm telling you, I'm not an ETF guy, all right? MSOS, I think, is an easy example, the one that comes to my mind. That's probably the one I talk the most about. But like most of them, I'm telling you, number one is probably 2x the next few. And then you have a couple small ones and then a bottom. I've never seen number one literally more than 4x number two. That's why it's almost 10x number five, right? I don't know what number this is. It's actually more than 10x this one right here, right? Like that's ridiculous. And to me, that added a little bit of an extra special to this. Because again, it goes back to this little sentence right here. All right. Elon was the number one donor. Not only was he the number one donor, he was one of the most vocal. All right, at least on the like celebrity side. Like I'm not, I don't know pop culture, right? I'm kind of a loser, but he was just everywhere with Trump. He, in my head, I feel like he bought Twitter for this moment right here. Like he bought it for the platform for the election and he used it to maximize what his investment was. I know a lot of people joke that Twitter's down a bunch. Oh, believe me, Elon with this mathematical, this plus this equals this, or you know what I mean? Oh, he'll be fine. You know what I mean? So to me, and I said it in the beginning, I sincerely believe SpaceX is going to get one extra contract, maybe two extra contracts. I don't even know how many government contracts go out, right? Hey, I'll be honest. My dad said this. I don't know how real this is. Let me know if anyone's heard this. My dad thinks Elon's going to be in the presidential cabinet. Like, I don't think that's a far-fetched sentence. I don't think my dad made that up. I gotta believe he at least saw that somewhere or something. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, the rumors flying around, you buy the rumor, you sell the news. You know what I mean? So DXYZ is just this wildly juicy Elon rumor. And man, to me, I think that has more value than DJT, which I'm going to hopefully cover because I don't want to go 45 minutes just on this one, right? But I don't know if more people are going to go to truthsocial.com. Is that the social? I don't even know what the website is. You know what I mean? Truth Social, I think, is what it's named. I might even be calling it wrong, right? So Trump media, I don't know, right? I sincerely don't know, but I think it's a little easy. There's really only like four companies that are vying against SpaceX, right? I know Bezos got something, the Blue Origin or something like that. I think Richard Branson might have one as well. There ain't a lot of billionaires with spaceships out there. You know what I mean? Like, oof. Yeah, so all that is just baseline. My answer to Luke, where was it? How did you identify the DXYZ potential? Float, MA levels? No, none of that. This. It was this, and I gotta believe, I said that on the first day too. I said it yesterday, probably said it the day before. Elon, let's do Elon equal. Whatever, you get the point, all right? You get the point. Okay, so now let's start talking a little bit technicals here, all right? The first thing I'm going to say is when the market is hot, all right, and the NASDAQ is, look at this. Two lovely candles, a nice little, look, Friday's a loser day. Friday, I wake up expecting red. We got a green doji. You know what I mean? RSI is still a healthy 63. Look at the, like, that's a beautiful, beautiful NASDAQ. S&P 500 looks just as nice. Same healthy, same healthy. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. All right. When the indices look good, you can potentially ignore some things. All right. This 97, look, I always start up here. Sometimes I'll start on volume. This 97 RSI on the daily is hot. All right. It is obviously going up after hours right now. That obviously takes the RSI up just a little bit more. That's how I start ringing the bell at 80. I start getting loud around 88. We're past 90, okay? The one thing to call out, so the way that the RSI works, again, I'm not here pretending to know the math. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This four, no, did I count wrong? Okay, whatever. You can tell I barely know the math. There you go. I need at least 14 candles before it'll do the RSI reading. And that's why the line starts right here instead of right here. I actually don't know how high the RSI got on this day. All right, the day that it pumped to the peak of 100. So there's a little bit of blind data here, right? The one thing I do know is 93 is real hot. Look, I for sure have seen things live horizontally in the high 80s to low 90s. I've seen it, for sure I have. This thing has some crazy potential because of that SpaceX thing, right? And again, how extremely weighted it is on SpaceX, right? So the potential for someone to say ignore some things because the market's good and the SpaceX hype is there, I can see it. To me, you gotta respect that, all right? And I think these are our lines on the way to. I think it's gonna be really hard for this to lose 25. If it loses 25, it'll fall to whatever the 8 moving average comes to, right? Like, I don't know the math behind these lines, right? But this thing is about to accelerate exponentially. Like, it might come up to like here on Monday and then maybe even here on Tuesday, right? So I don't think the fall below 25 would be pretty crazy, but hey, this has to stay above 31. This for sure at this point has to stay above 31. It's not exactly 50% of this candle, but that's an important line that we drew. It's 50% of this one, and I do believe I drew a good line on that one, actually. It's funny because I did mention this 33 line, DXYZ. One of the last things I said was if 33.50 breaks, that's when we're going to see a nice little jump more, right? I did like this 31.50 line. I remember saying a couple times, look, I don't know if I was wrong by taking the middle, and maybe it should have been the top. And you can see the top right there, the close, the green number on top is 33.54. So that's where I said to myself, hey, if that breaks, woo, green, 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 red, 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 red. Oh my gosh, right? So yeah, a lot. I said in the beginning, I'm going to say it one more time. When you're looking at a brand new ticker, and to me, when you're under 200 days, you're a brand new ticker. You don't even have all 5 of the moving averages, right? So this is pretty. You only have 2 moving averages on the weekly. You get what I'm saying, right? Like there's not a lot of information here. If this fell below the red death line, and we've seen a lot, like this was a D-SPAC if I'm not mistaken. I've seen a lot of them do it. When you lose this, you all of a sudden have no supports to catch you and they get ugly, right? We are seeing the opposite, man. We bounced on it, bounced on it, bounced on it, election and pop, right? There's a lot of people talking about the $100 right now. Listen, if you have $100 dreams on a $30 stock, you're gonna get bit, okay? I'm gonna draw my next targets up, but again, just there's a high RSI coming, all right? The last thing I'm going to talk about before I give my next targets, I saw the dump at the end, and it was a good dump, okay? Because check this out. though I just ended it with the daily RSI is high, and again, I do believe it's high. What happened was with that dump at the end, right? When it went from the 40 peak that just got me excited all the way back down, literally like magic to the 8 moving average, right? You can't make this stuff up. What happened was our RSI went from a wildly high 85 all the way back down to this 70 something that we see. So hey, this hourly actually was able to reset. So was the 15-minute. And again, I live in meetings, right? Like I work full time. So I have hour meetings, 30-minute meetings. To me, the 15-minute chart is important. The 15-minute chart had an 88 RSI. It cooled all the way down. No, I saw it in the 40s, did I not? 52. 52 was from 80 something to 52 back to 60, right? Like it's not a dump, it's a healthy cool off. On the 15, we're using the 8 and the 20. On the hourly, we're using the 8. It's a lovely thing, especially when you're on a time frame where you can't use these moving averages. And hey, if you're not that good or that comfortable drawing lines, just move your time, right? So a lot of really good thoughts there. I'm probably going to make this a knowledge center one. This was I hope a legit video. My throat. I try not to get cocky with it, but yeah, no, I enjoyed making this one. Look, my next line is right here. Oh wow, that was our wick. So that means our next line's right there. Give me a sec. Where's our weekly? Yeah. So that 43.40, that's basically half of this weekly candle, give or take, right? I see it should probably be just a little bit lower, around 41. I will say that 41 to 43.50 window, that's a critical resistance, all right? If that breaks, crazy things might actually happen, but yeah, I think the most you should be thinking about is probably 50 bucks. Truth be told, a move from 36 back up to 43, that's another 33%, right? So maybe even 43 is probably the smarter thing to think about, especially when our RSI is that high, right? Look, on my way down, I think 31 is the first floor. Hopefully that doesn't fall. If we lose that, I think 25 is, look, green will be a fast, this will fall. If you watch my videos, you know I'm not here to talk about the pumps and the squeezes and this and that, right? Like this thing for sure went from 10 to 100, and then it for sure went from 100 back down to 10, right? Like just we're here to keep emotions in check, you know, and hey, remember, I made my video here, so my average is probably down here, right? It wasn't here because I really didn't buy before this. There's a lot of me that wish I did, but hey, like I'm living somewhere in this candle, maybe even this wick, you know what I mean? Like if you're up here, dreaming up here, be careful with it, all right? For now, I think it's a little bit safe to say, and again, there's no such thing as safe. I don't think we're going to go below 25, maybe 22, 23, because I'm roughly trying to guess the trajectory of that 8 moving average over the next 2 days, all right? Hey, the last thing I want to talk about is Veterans Day. First of all, hey, if you're a veteran, thank you so much. Can I not spell? Dude, that's what I can't type. Dude, I'm horrible. Why can't I know we literally talked about it? Hold on. Holiday. Yeah, okay, good, beautiful. So they are open on Monday. All right, New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ will be open. So it caught me by surprise. It used to be closed for several years. It used to be closed, but that changed actually a long time ago. Well, clearly before I was born. My goodness, this is not that good of news, and I wasted like a minute of your time. I'm sorry about that, all right? Again, I think it's a pretty big window, but it seems like 50 above, 25 below. We're sitting at about 37 right now. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. DJT. Let's come into DJT. All right, really nice candle today, for sure. A really nice candle today, but I think a lot of people are wondering the same thing as Luke, as I pointed out. Like, why did DJT do nothing? Right. This was the comment yesterday. Obviously, it had a better day today. My answer really was SpaceX is more legit. I mean, look. I'm not trying to offend anyone if anyone likes the website, right? Like, I'm trying to just be impartial in this and that, right? But I'm not sure if his presidency will bring more subscribers to Trump media, right? I don't know if more accounts in Truth Social. Let me know if that name is wrong, because I probably said that a billion times by now, and gosh, I hope it's correct. But like, I don't know. I might be wrong. Let me know if you disagree. Let me know if you've already seen it, if there's already been a substantial uptick during the elections, since the elections, right? Like, I know it's only been a couple days, but there's some data out there, I'm sure, right? So in my head, I think the presidential hookups aren't going to come here. And I think that's why this came down. Now, look, this ran from 12 to my line at 52. If you watched one of my last videos, I made a pretty big stink on this candle. I remember DJT in the teens like it was yesterday. Once it got over that candle right there, this one right here, and it was just red, 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 we went from the 20 to the 50, from the 50 to the 100, from the 100 to the 200. We broke all five. We got a nice little fly. That was it. That was a tough resistance, right? As I zoom out, you can see it literally since, wow, look at that, since 2022, since pretty early in 2022, we've been under that $52 line. A 2 year resistance, right? Like, that's no joke. That's really no joke, and it makes sense, right? Now, 100 moving averages for sure doing the job, and I love it, right? I think you can a little bit say maybe we didn't take the 200. Look, to me, these two candles, actually, I would have said confirmation. I 100% would have. I probably would have said, hey, be careful with this, but I'm not trying to pretend I didn't, because hindsight's 2020. I don't know why we couldn't bounce there. I don't know why, and I guess you can say we did. I was going to say, I don't know why we couldn't, but yeah, we did bounce off the 20. So, okay, we bounced right there. Yeah, I think all it was the election hype wasn't there. And I think it's because of what I said. I don't know if there's going to be more subscribers. All right. That said, if we can get over, really, I think it's this. I think this is our money line. If you're, nah, 42, I think that's a little too high. I think this is our money line. 39, I'll even set an alert. 39, 25, 26. I like that. 39.26. I think if we can get over these two lines, and in my head, get me over this candle, and that'll probably be one of the things I was going to say is, hey, if you want to wait for about 42.25, if you can want to wait a couple extra bucks, that might not be bad. And hey, going from 40 something to 50 something, that's still a 25% move, right? You're adding one more 10 on four tens, right? So it actually might not be bad to wait for that. But yeah, I think around 40, oof, you might be able to put a 52 target there. The one stock I feel like I've been talking about 2 year resistances a bunch. Look at high tide. All right, obviously completely different sector, completely different thing. Since that early middle 22, that exact same window we were talking about with DJT, right? That exact same right there, that exact same right here. Since then, we were completely under the line. All of a sudden, we were able to break it, run to the next resistance, and hey, it's at least trying to hold, right? But the break and run was the point, and the same length was the point, right? DJT, believe me, I'll even make it golden. Let's make this one golden, because it actually really should be. If we can get over, I would call that a golden line break, and that would be a beautiful thing. Again, don't underestimate 61, but I do see so much, even between here and here, it's just a quick red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 right? Up here as well, right? So it's not that bad, but again, my reasoning I hope made sense. Let's go to the weekly just very quickly. Oh man, it actually might even be worth setting an alert at 35.18. Where's 35.18 on the daily? Oh, that's just under that. Maybe the alert could come a lot lower to 36.50. I don't know if that's a lot lower than 39. I guess it's an extra 10%. You're kind of waiting an extra $3, right? You can maybe justify that 36.50. I think that 39.25, 38.25, I forgot what number I clicked, whatever. I think that 43 might actually be a little too high. I think somewhere in this candle is going to be a nice spot. Hey, it might even be 37. I'm going to set that alert. Let me know 37.06. I think that's a cool in-between number. Lovely. That's a good place to end this. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Hey, especially if you disagree with me. Let me know if you do on the Trump thoughts, all right? Thank you so much.